Yes, I'm back in Las Vegas. I'm right on the Las Vegas Strip. There's Circus Circus and the Stratosphere over here and a fire truck. I'm over here. There's the Trump condos and Treasure Island, Caesar's Palace, Mirage, all of that. Paris is going down that way. Good to be back in Vegas, although it's 100 degrees as it tends to be in Las Vegas. I will tell you why. First off, I have to apologize. I haven't been posting as much as I should, and I do apologize about that. But I've got a lot of stuff coming up for you in the next month. We're setting a lot of things up. But the reason that I'm posting today is that I came back from Dallas where I performed at the Convergence Festival. And the Convergence Festival is a festival. It was started in 1995 by there was a web network, the alt.gothic.net. This is when chat rooms were big, Prodigy. Back when you had that dial-up modem, and that's how you communicated with people. They started Goth Festival in 1995. The first year was in Chicago. And went to Boston, and it's gone to just different places every year. And this year, last year was in New Orleans, which I didn't know about. The previous year was in LA. This year was in Dallas, Texas. I've never been to Dallas, Texas. And I took my camera, and the reason that you're not seeing actual video footage of the festival, except for possibly a little bad phone footage, is that I brought my camera and I did not have an SD card. My SD card, it's a long story. Anyway, I'll try to give you a gist of what happened. So, me being the goth comedian, I contacted Dallas. I've actually performed at a Convergence Festival before. I performed in Buffalo at Convergence 18. This was in 2002. And let me tell you something. It's hot here today in Vegas. It was really hot in Buffalo, New York. You never guess Buffalo and New York would get that hot. You think of it as being freezing. And all the Buffalo Bills games that you've seen on TV and all of that. It was literally 105 degrees outside, but inside where they were having the festival, and I performed with Voltaire and some other great bands, they had no air conditioning. It was so hot inside, people would go out to the 100-degree weather to get a break because it was that hot inside. I had actually only brought creepers as my shoes, and the last day I was like, I can't wear pants, I have to wear shorts. So I wore shorts and creepers on stage, and I had some goth hecklers that were suggesting that I take off my shoes, and I'm not sure what they had in mind, but you know how it goes. So I fly to Dallas. I've never flown to Dallas. Get there. First day, they have the goth fashion show. They always do this in Convergences. They always have a goth fashion show. And I walk in the door, I get my performer's pass, and already some people greeting me at the door that know me from YouTube, which I really thank them for. Bought me a drink, showed me the little perch of the club that you can watch the fashion show from. And this is in a place called Deep Ellum, Texas, which I guess is the hipster part of town. And not only do they have these cool goth clubs, but it's just a whole strip of just nothing but clubs and restaurants and just cool stuff. It's a real hipster part of town. They've got art all over the place. I really liked it. And the lot of beautiful men and women at the goth fashion show. One guy was actually wearing like a mesh shirt, and one of the guys I was hanging out with was like, I'd wear that. I was like, not me. I'm a little flabby for that, but they look good on them, and just some beautiful women wearing some beautiful clothes. Hung out there, great DJs. They had some local DJs that were just fantastic. And the next day, that was on Friday. Saturday, this is a 3-day event. Saturday, they had the Goth Bazaar, where they had vendors selling things. This is at a club called The Church, which is the top goth club in Las Vegas. Today is Sunday, and Amanda Jones, DJ Amanda Jones from LA is playing there tonight, so they always have good things going on that night. I was actually performing at a different club. They had 3 clubs going on at the same time, so I was performing at a club called the Nines. But first I went to the church to check out the bazaar, and it turned out really well. I bought a new top hat. I've been looking for a new top hat for a long time, and I'm going to post a picture here of me in the top hat. It's great. I'm going to send a link down at the bottom if you'd like to buy cool hats. I've been looking for a top hat for years, like a decent one, and now I've got one of the best ones, a little front on the side, not too shabby. I also met James O'Barr at the vendor fair. James O'Barr, if you're goth, you know. If you're not, you may not know, is the guy who wrote and drew the comic book The Crow that the movies were based on. Well, there's only one real movie, but he wrote The Crow and just couldn't be the nicer guy. Just real cool. We were talking about all the events that were happening. He actually mentioned, and it's true, there was a tattoo festival at the same time, so there were a lot of cool bands, both at the Goth Festival and the Tattoo Festival, and just couldn't be a nicer guy. I told him I was doing the show. He's like, oh yeah, I heard about that. I might stop by, and I didn't know if he would or not, but it was so nice meeting him. I took a picture. Could be a nicer guy. It's with a lot of people that I admire when I meet. I'm real tongue-tied about what I to say to them, except I really admire what you do, and your work's really affected my life. That's basically all I could say. And he hears that a lot, and he was very nice. So then I went from the church to the Nines, which was a short walk down Main Street, I believe. The Nines is a real cool club. And when I walked in, they were having a fetish demonstration, and it was pretty funny. They were showing things to do with belts, things to do with stockings. And when I went on stage, they were still there, and I was joking that, everybody at this place, it was old hat. They knew how to do those things. They were great. Then they had a DJ that, a German musician that was putting out his industrial album, and he was terrific. Just a really good album. Apparently what he said later, or he said during the thing, was he couldn't get a visa. So he couldn't actually do a live set, but he could play his album. So he's previewing his album. And this is all at the Nines. And this is one of 3 clubs doing things. While we were doing this, there were bands on at the church and at another club. So then I went on, and I performed for an hour. And the people, actually the person that sponsored me, that actually paid for me to come there, he was so burned out from partying the night before, because it was quite a party. He didn't even show up. But we had a lot of people there. They had a great time. I had a young lady from Nebraska later on that night tell me she liked when I talked about sex stuff. You know how it goes. And we had a great time. And James O'Barr came in with his friends and watched my set. Actually, watched most of my set. And it's weird when you see somebody you admire in the audience. You're always looking at them to see if they're laughing. And he did laugh a few times, but it wasn't. I wanted to crack him up every joke, and every now and then I would look over, and the crowd was laughing, but he wasn't laughing. And sometimes I look over and he was laughing. So I appreciate him coming into the show, and it was, and I had a little fun with him on stage, and it was great. It's always great to perform in front of your heroes, although it always puts some pressure on them. So I finished my show, and then I went over to there was another club where they had all the bands. The people that put this on, Siren and Bella, they're a couple. They live in Dallas. I guess they're the Dallas Goth Power couple, and they were terrific. I know what it is to put on a show. I can just imagine coordinating all of these clubs as it had to be. And I was talking to them. They were all just busy. They told me they really wanted to see my set, but they were busy coordinating things at 3 different clubs. But the club that they had the main bands was called the Curtain Club. And I went there, and they had Assemblage 23, the industrial band, were terrific. Kommunity FK, who I knew a couple of their songs, I didn't know that much. They were fantastic, and just it's something about a woman playing guitar, a beautiful woman playing guitar that's just nothing sexier. And they've been around a long time. They've been around since the 80s, and they still have it. They were just really on point. And the headliner that night was David J. from Bauhaus and Love and Rockets, who I've had the pleasure to meet. Real nice guy. And I'm going to put a link in with my interview with him and Sasha Grey on my podcast. But and he came out. He did Who Killed Mr. Moonlight right off the bat. He did some new songs, including a song called Where Were You the Night David Bowie Died. And he did like 2 encores. Did my favorite Love and Rocket song, No New Tale to Tell, which was great. But his last encore, he did Bela Lugosi's Dead. And he had a cloak on, a shroud. He had a sitar playing. It was amazing. And you're like, well, why is he singing and not Peter Murphy? He actually wrote the song, music and lyrics. So it's his song. It was fantastic. So after that, I wanted to go back to the 9s, maybe dance a little with the DJs, but they were closed at 2. So I was walking down the streets of Deep Ellum, Dallas, going to the after party. And the streets were just packed with people getting out of the bars. Just unbelievable. I was going to take a lift, but they were going to charge me like $77. So I ended up walking down the street in makeup, in a top hat, in a suit. And needless to say, I freaked out the locals. And I saw a guy at the 7-Eleven get arrested and get in a big fight with the cops. That was fun. Walked into Sheridan when we had the after parties. Sarah and Bella had an after party. It was great. Stayed there till like 4 in the morning. And then the next day we went back to the church for the it was a combination of the regular goth night and bands. I saw Angelspit and was hanging out with the lead singer Angelspit, Carl, who told me the joke, because he's from Australia, what do you call a boomerang that doesn't come back? A stick. And they were fantastic. Bella from Sarah and Bella DJ'd after that. Bella from Sarah and Bella was DJing after that. And I wanted to get a picture with the 2 of them the whole time, but they were so busy and they were doing, 2 different things. And I went up to Sarah and I took a picture with just me and him, and he did not smile because he is gone. And he said, hold on, stick around for Bella's DJ set. There's a big surprise coming. I knew where this was going. So as she was playing, and she's in the DJ booth, and she's probably like 5 foot, so it's in the DJ booth, and she's kind of like here. So somebody had to tell her, hey, Bella, look at the TV screen, And on the video screen, it said, Bella, will you marry me? And of course, she said yes. I found out later they've been going out for 4 years. So saying it's about time you proposed. And it was just a heartwarming moment to end the Convergence 23. And it didn't end there. We danced all night and all sorts of shenanigans. But the bottom line is, I got to go to a city I've never been before, Dallas. Got to meet a lot of new friends from all over the country, mainly the South though, because it was in Dallas. So I actually talked to somebody from North Carolina who said she doesn't go above the Dixon line, but people from Nebraska, people from Florida, people from North Carolina, South Carolina, New Orleans. I think coming from Vegas, I was the one that was there the furthest, except for people that came from Germany and Europe. But this is the second time I've been at a Convergence Festival, and it's one of the best times you'll ever have in your life. We've never partied with a whole room of goth people from all over the world. You just haven't partied. And so hopefully I'll be able to cobble up enough pictures and videos to give you a sense of Convergence 23. I don't know where Convergence 24 is, but I will tell you, I'm going to try to make that party too, because just something about everybody coming together, and it's really special. And there's something about the goth community that, people think we're just a bunch of weirdos wearing black and wearing makeup and, just heartless, satanic. terrorist weirdos, but when you get a lot of like-minded people together that revel in their own uniqueness, and everybody was unique and everybody looked different, there's something special. So I'm back in Vegas, and there's going to be a lot of Vegas stuff coming up. I've got a lot of things planned, so stay tuned. You're going to see a lot of Viva Goth Vegases coming up. And once again, thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to the videos, and keep watching because you ain't seen nothing yet.